the legendary Kusanagi Sword and the serpent Orochi. Intro. Imagine a blade so mysterious and so sacred that for more than 1,000 years no ordinary person has laid eyes upon it. Unlike Europe's Excalibur, drawn from stone for all to see, Japan's sacred sword remains hidden, locked away from public view. This is the Kusanagi Sword, a weapon born from the body of a monster, a treasure of the gods, and a symbol of imperial power. Its story begins not in shining palaces but in the wild lands of ancient Japan, where an 8-headed serpent terrorized the people. Today, we uncover the myth, the mystery, and the legend that refuses to fade. Part 1. The Serpent Orochi. Long ago, the storm god Susanoo was cast out of the heavenly realm. Banished for his unruly behavior, he wandered the earth until he reached the land of Izumo. There, he found an elderly couple in tears, for each year a monstrous being demanded one of their daughters as tribute. 7 had already been taken and devoured, and now only the youngest, Kushnada, remained. Moved by pity and by Kushnada's grace, Susanoo vowed to save her. The creature was the Yamada no Orochi, a serpent with 8 massive heads and 8 writhing tails. Its eyes burned like coals, and its vast body sprawled over valleys and rivers, moss and trees clinging to its scales as if the land itself had grown upon it. It was a living calamity, a terror so immense that even the gods took heed. Susanoo did not challenge such a monster with strength alone, he used cunning. He brewed 8 barrels of the strongest sake and placed them in a line, one for each head. When Orochi arrived, its heads plunged into the barrels, drinking until the gigantic serpent grew slow and intoxicated. The ground trembled under its swaying mass, its tails thrashed, and its breath roared like distant thunder. Seizing the moment, Susanoo drew his blade. With a cry that split the air, he struck at the necks, one, then another, divine steel ringing against monstrous flesh. 7 heads fell, and when he carved into the 8th tail, his sword struck something hard. Intrigued, he cut deeper through sinew and scale. There, gleaming within the serpent's body, lay a blade unlike any other. This was the sword that would one day be called Kusanagi, the grass-cutting sword, a gift wrested from the belly of chaos itself. Part 2. A Sacred Treasure. Victorious, Susanoo presented the miraculous sword to his sister, the sun goddess Amaterasu. It was both an offering and a reconciliation, a way to mend the rift between them. Thus the blade entered the celestial lineage, becoming one of Japan's 3 sacred treasures alongside the Yata mirror and the Yasukani jewel. Each treasure embodied a virtue: the mirror stood for wisdom, the jewel for benevolence, and the sword for valor. Together, they were not simply relics, but the very symbols of imperial legitimacy. For centuries the Kusanagi sword was passed down with utmost secrecy. Even today, during enthronement ceremonies, the treasures are presented, but always shielded from public view. No commoner, and few officials, may ever gaze upon them. This veil of secrecy amplifies the mystery. Is the true Kusanagi still preserved, or was it lost and quietly replaced to protect the ritual? The sacred and the unseen intertwine, and belief becomes part of the artifact itself. In stories and in state, Kusanagi is more than steel. It is courage consecrated, authority sanctified, and identity crystallized. Its invisibility does not weaken its power. If anything, the hidden status intensifies it, like a flame protected from the wind, burning steadily in the dark. Part 3. A History of Intrigue. The legends of Kusanagi did not end with Orochi's fall, they tangled with history itself. One tale claims the sword was stolen during the Heian period, vanishing from the palace only to reappear at Atsuta Shrine. Another insists the true blade was lost at sea during the Battle of Dan no Ura in 1185, when the child emperor Antoku drowned, the treasures sinking into the straits with him. If that account is true, what rests in the shrine today? A meticulously crafted duplicate to preserve the ritual? Or was the blade recovered in secret, its salvation never recorded for mortal eyes? Such ambiguity is not a flaw, it is the essence of sacred relics. they live at the edge of history and myth, where proof is scarce and meaning is abundant. Even rumors of thefts, losses, substitutions, feed the legend, ensuring Kusanagi is discussed, doubted, defended, and desired. In the end, the blade's power is sustained by both ceremony and silence. And so the question persists like a whisper behind closed doors: is the sword in Atsuta the real Kusanagi? We may never know. But the mystery itself sharpens the legend, like a whetstone against the edge of belief. Yet the mystery of Kusanagi is not only about where it is kept, but also about the ominous power it was believed to hold. In the chronicles, it is said that when Emperor Antoku perished at Dan no Ura with the sword, the tragedy was not only political, but also spiritual. The divine protection of the blade seemed to vanish with him. Later, when the sword was housed at Atsuta Shrine, legends arose that disasters followed those who disrespected it. One tale whispers that an emperor who kept the sword too close died young, as if the sacred blade punished arrogance. Thus Kusanagi was revered not only as a protector, but also feared as a curse if handled improperly. Sacred, yet dangerous, this duality made the sword even more enigmatic. A treasure too holy to show, too perilous to misuse, forever veiled in secrecy. Part 4, From Myth to Pop Culture. Unlike relics trapped in museums, the Kusanagi sword keeps returning to life through stories people love today. In anime like Naruto, the villain Orochimaru wields a blade named Kusanagi, a direct nod to the serpent-slaying myth. In the Fate series, the sword is imagined as a divine-class weapon, and in video games from Final Fantasy to action epics, Kusanagi appears as a legendary item. Artists reinterpret it, writers reframe it, and gamers equip it, each new telling adds a fresh layer to an ancient tale. Through this cultural afterlife, Kusanagi is no longer only a shrine-bound secret. It becomes a bridge between eras, from sacred ritual to shared imagination, from hidden relic to global icon. For audiences worldwide, it stands beside Excalibur as Japan's archetypal sword, a symbol that cuts across time and media alike. Conclusion. The Kusanagi sword began as a weapon pulled from a monster's body. It became a sign of divine authority, a relic of emperors, a riddle woven into Japan's history, and a legend reborn in modern culture. Is it a real blade hidden from the world, or a symbol too powerful to reveal? Perhaps its true strength lies not in steel, but in belief, in the human need to tell stories that give shape to courage, legitimacy, and mystery. Like Excalibur in the West, Kusanagi endures not because we can see it, but because we cannot. Unseen, untouchable, unforgettable.